behalf of the team at Melbourne BMW, welcome to our virtual preview event. During this session, we'll be taking you, our valued guests, through 3 exciting, all-new BMW products. The 2 Series Coupe, the 4 Series Gran Coupe, and the exciting new all-electric SUV, the BMW iX. Joining me to run you through these vehicles is BMW Australia's product manager, Howard Lamb. Howard and I worked together at BMW head office for over 10 years, and his knowledge of the brand, and in particular, his deep understanding of the brand's huge technological advancements these cars feature, is world-class. He's a passionate and enthusiastic BMW brand ambassador, and I hope you enjoy his presentation. Before we start though, there are a few housekeeping items to go through. Firstly, this session is being recorded and will be available via our socials a few days after the event. While these new models aren't scheduled to launch for another few months, we'll keep you informed regarding the arrival of our showroom cars for appointments and test drives. Secondly, I wanted to extend my sincere thanks for all your support through the many disruptions and changes to our retail business over the last 12 months. We've been incredibly humbled by your continued association with Melbourne BMW, and we are truly honoured to be representing such amazing brands in such a great city. Melbourne's had a tough time through all the lockdowns, but we're a spirited and optimistic community, and we've already witnessed the strong consumer rebound since reopening the doors to our showroom on the 29th of October. Pleasingly, the overall business is in a strong position, with solid sales and after-sales growth over both 2020 and 2019. And while many industries are facing supply shortages, we've been fortunate to be able to secure a terrific pipeline of outstanding products scheduled to arrive over the coming weeks and months. Thirdly, the redevelopment of our home at Kingsway continues to forge ahead, with all the concrete slabs for the ground floor already poured, as we commence the next phase of the 10,900 square metre development to get all the structural steel in place. Lastly, it wouldn't be a BMW event without extending an invitation to welcome you back to our City Road showroom to inspect and test drive our cars in person with our BMW Genius team, or to have your vehicle inspected, serviced and detailed prior to your family's end-of-year road trip to celebrate this year's festive season with the family and friends we've all missed seeing over the last few months. I know we've certainly missed seeing you in person at our showroom, and we hope to see you back here soon. With that, I'll now hand over to Howie to run you through these amazing new models.
Thanks Dan and the team at Melbourne BMW for having me. It's an absolute pleasure to be here tonight.
Thank you, Howie, and thanks for coming and sharing your time with us. You've got some pretty cool cars to show us this evening, I believe.
Yeah, we have 3 special guests, 3 beautiful cars to show everyone before they hit the market.
Outstanding.
Yeah.
Pretty exciting time for the BMW, isn't it?
Very exciting time.
Good.
Very exciting time. So without further ado,
all right,
let's get stuck into it.
Get into it.
2021 is a very special and very exciting year for BMW Group, in which we launch a whole host of models and also some model variants that really capture the essence of the BMW brand across many different segments and categories. For example, in the high performance category, earlier this year we launched BMW's most powerful and fastest production model yet, and that is the M5 CS Special Edition. And there's more. The icon of the BMW M range, the M3 and the M4 Competition, also received a new variants with the Bmw Ix X-Drive drivetrain. And we also recently announced the addition of the new M4 Competition convertible with Bmw Ix X-Drive as well. And in the core segment, we recently also announced an update, a midlife update to Australia's favourite BMW, the X3. This is the most popular by sales volume. closely leading the 3 Series. So the X3 received an LCI, Life Cycle Impulse, along with its sporty brother, the X4 LCI. And alongside that, the X3M and the X4M also recently got announced as well. And these beautiful cars will arrive into this dealership very, very soon, in the next couple of weeks or so. And I'm sure Daniel and the brilliant team at Melbourne BMW will keep you informed. And once they arrive here in this dealership, we can't wait for you to test drive these machines. 2021 also marks a very important milestone for BMW Group, and that is the next phase in our transition to electrification. Hot off the heels of our recent announcement of the plug-in hybrid X3 X-Drive 30e, we also announced the fully electric i4 Gran Coupe and also the iX3, the fully electric version of the X3. And the electrified products will be topped by this model that we have here under this sheet here, and we can't wait to show you that. So without further ado, let's show you the 3 cars that we have here.
Just go there.
Before I start the presentation of these 3 vehicles, I might invite you to ask any questions. So if any questions come up at any point during this presentation, please feel free to type it into the chat box, and we'll have a question and answer session at the end, and we'll go through all your questions and answer them. So ladies and gentlemen, this is the 2nd generation BMW 2 Series Coupe with the internal code G42. This is the latest addition to the 2 Series family, which includes the 2 Series Gran Coupe. Now, with the 2 Series Gran Coupe, its focus is on versatility and practicality. However, the 2 Series Coupe really focuses on the sports, the purest driving experience. The purest, sporty driving experience that BMW has been renowned for, and fans all over the world know and love. As you can see here, this one here is in a new BMW colour called Thunder Night. This is teamed up with M Performance 19-inch cerium grey alloy wheels and upholstered in leather Vernasca black with blue contrast stitching. So let's have a look at some of the highlights. The design of this car is very progressive, and as you can see, our designers at the headquarters are really making different expressions of each different model and each vehicle. You'll notice that of the 3 vehicles that we present to you today, each has its own distinct character. The 2 Series in particular, because it's a sporty concept, it has an expression of boldness and extrovertedness. The bonnet here, one of the first things you'll notice is the return of the power dome. And this really gives you a glimpse of the potent power that lies beneath the bonnet. The kidney grille is also redesigned. And one thing that you'll notice that it does away with the vertical slats, but instead it has vertical flaps that are electronically controlled so that when additional cooling is required, they open up. And when it's not required, they close. And when they're closed, the car is more aerodynamic to allow it to slip through the air more seamlessly. The headlights, these are adaptive LED headlights, which are standard on this model, the M240i X-Drive. And one thing that you'll notice as well is that it is a single bulb. Triangular air intakes, which is a new design language for BMW. And these really help to channel the air through to the air curtain and through to the side. And if I invite you over to the side, the wing mirrors. Now this wing mirror design was previously only reserved for full-blooded M cars like the M2, M3, M4 and so on. So it's great that now these have flowed through to the M240i X-Drive. The expression of boldness and extrovertedness extends to the rear as well. These tail lights are 3D in design, full LED tail lights, large trapezoidal tailpipe finishes, and also the M rear spoiler as standard. And if we open up the boot, luggage capacity is at 390 litres, very generous. And if you need to have additional luggage capacity, you can fold down the split fold seats, 40, 20, 40, and have additional cargo space. I did mention the potent power beneath the bonnet. Underneath the bonnet lies BMW's B58 engine, a silky smooth 3-litre inline 6-cylinder M twin power turbo engine that pumps out no less than 275 kilowatts of power and 500 newton meters of torque, enough to catapult this car from 0 to 100 in just 4.3 seconds. And when we turn back the clock and have a think about the F82 M4, the acceleration time for that one was just 4.1. So this is just 0.2 of a second off the pace of that M4. So you can really see just the amount of muscle this car brings. In terms of the chassis improvements, a lot of enhancements and improvements have been made versus the predecessor. For a start, this car is based off the 3 Series and 4 Series platform. The 220i, which is also available from launch, adopts a rear-wheel drive format, whereas the M240i X-Drive adopts BMW's X-Drive performance all-wheel drive system. The chassis is 12% stiffer, and also the car is wider, longer, but sits a little bit lower than the predecessor. The interior of the car is the same as that of the 4 Series, so it borrows a lot from the 4 Series with two large screens, multifunctional instrument display 12.3 inch, and a control display of 10.25 inch with BMW Operating System 7 as standard. In terms of pricing, the 220i starts at $59,900, including GST and LCT, and the M240i X-Drive is $89,900. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is the new 4 Series Gran Coupe with an internal code of G26. As you can see here, this one here is in BMW Individual Adventurin Red. This is an M440i X-Drive model, teamed up with 19-inch bi-colour alloy wheels and leather Venasca black with blue stitching upholstery as well. So let's just spend a moment and talk about the whole concept of the 4 Series Gran Coupe. So this car really encompasses everything that anyone would want. It ticks all the boxes. For those who would prefer a 4-door car with 5 seats, but also prefer a car that has the styling of a sports coupe and the dynamics of a sports coupe. Well, this one really ticks all the boxes. The 4 Series Gran Coupe not only is functional and sporty, but it looks amazing as well. Certainly this is one of my favourite body styles of the BMW model range. In terms of styling, what they've done is a few lines on the bonnet. These lines all lead into this prominent and tall kidney grille. This kidney grille with a mesh design also has active airstream flaps inside to enable or disable additional cooling whenever required. Large air intakes and air curtains that filter and channel air around the wheel as well to minimise air turbulence, and also a very slim headlight design. So BMW laser light, which is on this car, it's standard on the M440i X-Drive. Some particular highlights that I really love is this air breather here. Now this air breather not only helps to channel the air through, but also extends with a high gloss black accent toward the rear of the car. And this really lends the car an expressive appearance and also accentuates its length. And when we open up the door, although it's a 4-door vehicle, the doors are frameless. So just like the Coupe and the convertible 4 Series models, the Gran Coupe also has frameless doors. And if we move around to the rear of the car, now this is where this car really comes out onto its own. So comfort access is standard on the M440i X-Drive. It's this beautiful hatchback tailgate that really makes loading bags, gym bags, shopping really easy. You don't need to bend down to move in through a porthole, but rather just in and out just like that. Luggage capacity is 470 litres, and when you fold down the rear seats, it extends to 1,290 litres. So extremely practical, and also, I might mention again, it looks fantastic as well. This also adopts the X-Drive drivetrain, which is heavily rear biased, just like the 2 Series Coupe, and it's variable as well, depending on your driving situation. On the M440i X-Drive, leather Vanasca comes as standard, which is decked out on this car, and also with the M Sport Pack. M Sport Pack is standard on all variants, the 420i, 430i, and the M440i. Oh, sorry, the M440i already has the elements of the M Sport Pack, being an M Performance vehicle. Sport seats come as standard on all variants, which is part of M Sport Pack. So BMW Operating System 7 with a large 10.25-inch screen, and also the multifunction BMW Live Cockpit Professional display, which is 12.3-inch. At launch, it'll be available in 3 variants. The 420i, which is priced at $75,900, including GST and LCT. And then there is the 430i, which is $83,900. And this one here, the M440i X-Drive, that is priced at $115,900. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my utmost pleasure to introduce to you BMW's first ever flagship SUV, the Bmw iX. The Bmw iX is BMW's first ever model without a number. Yes, breaking tradition, but by making a quantum leap forward for BMW Group. The Bmw iX really showcases BMW's next generation of technology, connectivity, driving dynamics, and of course, BMW's all-encompassing commitment to sustainability. The design of the iX is really something to behold. Very, very beautiful. It's monolithic in design with clean sculpted surfaces. It's very progressive, but also pays homage to the Earth's natural sculpted surfaces as well. The model that we have here today is the Bmw Ix X-Drive 40. This one is in Sophisto grey with brilliant effect metallic paint, large 22-inch aerodynamic alloy wheels, and this has the interior design loft stone grey interior. Now from launch, 2 model variants will be available. The Ix X-Drive 40, which is this one, which has 240 kilowatts of power and 630 newton meters of torque, and a 77 kilowatt hour battery. The charging speed at which the Ix X-Drive 40 can charge at is 150 kilowatts. So what that means is that using a public DC charger at that speed, essentially in just 10 minutes of charging, it'll provide up to 90 kilometres of range as tested under the WLTP regime. The next model up is the Ix X-Drive 50. The Ix X-Drive 50 has a larger battery, 112 kilowatt hour battery. It has 385 kilowatts of power. And when you think of this level of power, it's equivalent to a twin turbo V8. Our M550i has 390 kilowatts. So the Ix X-Drive 50 has 385 kilowatts and 765 newton meters of power with a maximum charging speed of 200 kilowatts. So in just 10 minutes, you can top that up with over 150 kilometers of driving range. And what's best for you, our esteemed guests and customers, is that we make it really easy to transition to electrification. With every Ix comes 5 years of complimentary, free, unlimited usage of the Chargefox network of public chargers. DC chargers, fast chargers, 50 kilowatts, and DC up to 350 kilowatts. So 5 years of unlimited charging. So let's take a look at some of the design highlights. So you'll notice this has a large, tall kidney grille. So it looks fantastic, especially on a large car like this. This is an intelligence panel that hides and houses all the technology such as camera, radar, heating elements, and so on and so forth. This surface here is also self-healing. In the event that there are stone chips or marks on it, overnight under normal room temperature, it will pop back out and heal itself. However, if you apply some heat to it, like a hairdryer or a heat gun, it'll almost instantaneously pop back out, and before you know it, it'll be smooth again. The bonnet itself houses some high voltage electric components underneath, and for that reason, only qualified BMW service technicians may open it. Instead, the BMW Roundel doubles as a reservoir for your window wiper fluid. And what better way is there than there is to team up the largest kidney grille that BMW has ever designed, or one of the largest, with the slimmest headlight BMW has ever designed. So this one has BMW laser light, which is standard on the Ix X-Drive 50. So I think the combination of the two works really well. And if we move around to the side of the vehicle, you'll notice on all 3 cars that we present to you tonight that the door handles are flush. So this not only aids in aerodynamics, but also looks amazing. And we open up the doors are indeed frameless. And this is a first for a BMW SUV. The interior is a cloth microfiber combination interior design loft for our more sustainable customers who may want a vegan-friendly option. And if we move around to the rear of the vehicle, the glass house is tapered in, and this has been inspired by a sports coupe. So from the rear, it looks more like a sports coupe than it does a large SUV. Slim LED headlights. So these are to match the slim LED, laser light headlight design at the front. And when we open up the tailgate, 500 litres of luggage capacity, and when the seats are folded down, that'll extend up to 1,750 litres. Underneath the boot floor lies 2 charging cables. The first charging cable is for home domestic charging. So this will plug into a standard wall socket at home. And when you're out and about and you come across a public charging station that does not have its own tethered cable, there is a cable there for you to use to connect your iX to the public charging cable. The charging socket is here. So when we open up this, you'll see there's provision for AC and DC. So we leave no stone unturned when it comes to having everything available for our customers. If we open up this one, there we go. You'll notice that the AC has a distinctive design and also the DC has a DC design as well. So this is what's known as a CCS2, Combined Charging System 2 socket. Now the interior of the vehicle is generously spacious, very minimalistic. In fact, the number of buttons and switchgear has been reduced by up to 50%. And if we look at the rear seat rests, you'll see that it adopts a lounge-like seating. And my favourite, if I may climb in and demonstrate, is that because it's an EV, it doesn't have a transmission tunnel, which gives the middle passenger more legroom. And because the front console is a floating console, you can extend your feet into there as well. So this really makes a huge difference. And if we open up the front door, you can see just how minimalistic it is. So with all the switches and controls for the climate control and so forth, that is all controlled by the BMW operating system 8. We have this new curved widescreen, which includes a 12.3 digital instrument display for the driver, 12.3 inch, and a 14.9 inch control display for the driver and passengers for the infotainment. Another innovation for the iX is the Panorama Glass Sky Lounge. It's a glass roof that has electrochromatic technology. At the moment, it's in its opaque setting, but at the push of a button, it'll transform into a clear setting. And because it has a multi-layer film protection, it's able to block out 100% of UVA and UVB light as well, protecting all the occupants of the vehicle. So for the iX, although I mentioned there are 2 model variants, but we have 3 different trim levels. So starting at $135,900 is the Bmw Ix X-Drive 40. Now the advantage of this is that pricing is on par with our current X5 X-Drive 45e plug-in hybrid. So for the same price, or for a similar price, customers can have a choice of a plug-in hybrid or the Bmw iX. And for $6,000 more, for $141,900, the Ix X-Drive 40 Sport is available. That adds Sport Pack and a larger alloy wheel. And at $161,900 is the flagship model, the Ix X-Drive 50 Sport. That's got Sport Pack, has the 22-inch alloy wheel as well. It adds further standard spec as included as well. So ladies and gentlemen, this is the Bmw iX, and I just can't wait for you to test drive this.
Thanks, Howie, for a very comprehensive and thorough overview of those 3 amazing new cars. So we've got a couple of questions that you've kindly submitted, and we'll head to those now.
First question, can I start the air conditioning from my smartphone?
That's one for you, Howie. It's a product one.
Certainly. The question was, can I start the air conditioning using my smartphone? Absolutely. On the 2 Series and the 4 Series, there is an option called remote engine start. If it's not spec'd on the car from the factory, you can most certainly add it on through the BMW Connect to Drive online store. And once that's digitally installed into the car, you can use your My BMW app and use that to start the engine and turn on the air conditioner on a hot day or turn the heater on a cold day. and get the car to the perfect temperature before you climb in.
It's incredible the technological advancements we've had with those app and all the software stuff, and certainly our customers seem to be enjoying the new features.
Yeah.
All right, Laura.
Next question is, what colour is the 2 Series Coupe?
That's another product one, so I'm going to throw that one to you.
What a gorgeous purple shade of purple that is, isn't it? That's called Thunder Night Metallic. Thunder Night.
All right, and are there any other colours that are kind of cool in the new ranges?
This one, the Adventure in Red, I really love that colour. It really pops in the 4 Series Gran Coupe. There are a lot of colours, even if there are colours that are outside of the current range. We do have a BMW individual program on the 4 Series Gran Coupe. It'll be available from next year, early next year. It'll be available, and on the 2 Series, it's also available as well.
And on the iX, what's your favourite colour of the ones you've seen so far?
You know what? I really like Phytonic Blue and Sophisto Grey, which is on this one as well. So,
okay, cool.
Yeah, really good looking colours on the iX.
Nice.
We've got some great questions popping through. What's the acceleration speed from 0 to 100 k's? I assume that's on the iX.
Okay.
But you might want to cover all.
Yeah, on the iX, the Ix X-Drive 50, the more powerful one, that is 4.6 seconds. And on this one, the Ix X-Drive 40, it's 6.1 seconds. On the M440i X-Drive Gran Coupe, it's 4.7 seconds. And as I mentioned on the 240i, the M240i X-Drive, it's 4.3 seconds.
Out of the 20 models in our portfolio, are there any 0 to 100s you don't know? All right.
Many.
Next question. What's the charge time from flat? Someone has just jumped in obviously later in the presentation.
So
what is the charging time from flat on the iX?
From flat, depends on what charger you use. On the, for example, 0 to 80 time on the iX, just to give you an example, in just 10 minutes on this one, you can get up to about 150 kilometers. So seeing that it's on DC charge, max DC charge, 150, it's got a range of about 420, so times that by 3 roughly. So it's around about 30, 40 minutes to get a full, from 0 to 80%. And because from 80% to 100% takes a little bit longer, it's not an exact linear charging process, it takes a little bit longer. So you're looking at about 4 or 5 hours.
Right.
One more question on the range. What is the total range on the iX? I know we covered a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
Just want to touch on it again.
The total, in terms of the model range or the driving range?
Driving range.
Driving range, yeah, absolutely. On the Ix X-Drive 40, the driving range as tested under the WLTP, it's 425 kilometres. But for Australia, our homologation is NEDC. We still use the NEDC regime. So that's about 420 kilometres. And these, bear in mind, these are tested in controlled conditions. So when you go to drive it, you could get more range or you could get less. For example, if you're not using any air conditioning or heating, there'll be more power supplied to moving the vehicle as opposed to the climate. So in that instance, you'll be able to get more. And plus, if you're driving in an urban environment, as you're braking, the brake will regenerate and recharge the battery as you go as well. As opposed to if you're driving constantly on the highway, there's no opportunity for the car to regenerate and recharge itself. And to answer the part B of the question, which is the Ix X-Drive 50, under the WLTP testing range, it's 630 kilometres, so up to 630. And under the NEDC regime, it's up to 620 kilometres.
It's pretty impressive. 600 plus kilometres range.
Absolutely.
And that's without the additional that you'd get from the brake regeneration. So.
Absolutely.
Cool.
Absolutely. So yeah, so range anxiety is a thing of the past.
Absolutely.
A couple more really good questions coming through. How can I access Chargefox?
Yeah, accessing Chargefox is really easy. It's basically just as simple as downloading Chargefox app. It's available in the Apple App Store as well as Android, the Google Play Store. So once you download it, register an account and add your vehicle to it, the Chargefox app will display all of the public charging stations that are available in Australia. So just to give you an idea of the magnitude of their charging network, by 2025, they will have up to 5,000 plugs installed, of which 2,000 will be either fast or rapid. So fast is 50 kilowatts, DC, and rapid is up to 350 kilowatts, of which the iX can only go up to 200 on the iX50, and on the iX40 can only go up to 150 kilowatts. And these are located throughout Australia.
A couple of really great questions. Can the iX be fitted with a tow bar?
That is a really good question. At the moment, it's not available, but our colleagues in our after-sales departments are working with our colleagues in Munich for a factory-fit tow bar solution. So watch this space. We'll keep our dealer partners informed.
It seems to be a question that gets asked in Australia more than any other country in the world, but it's always a question we get nice and early.
Yeah.
This list here, how many iXs will be available in Australia?
I think BMW Australia tend to keep their volume planning reasonably tight, tight-lipped, but we're certainly pretty happy with the supply allocation that we've been able to secure, and we look forward to really showing all of our customers through these wonderful cars when they get a chance.
Yeah.
Last question?
Last question. So this one's for you, Daniel. Expected completion of the new Kingsway showroom.
Okay, so we showed you the rendered images before of our new home back at Kingsway. Going really well. We've fully completed the concrete slabs. We've got structural steel going in place over the next couple of weeks, and I'd say by Christmas you're really going to see the enormity of the scale of the building and the footprint. As I said earlier, 10,900 square metres, so it's an enormous development. We're still on track for a completion of the program in late Q2 next year, and so I imagine that we'll be transitioning to our new home early in Q3, and we're really excited to show you the videos and the renders and whatever else in more detail as they come available. So I guess with that, we're conscious of your time, and we really wanted to probably bring the formalities to a close. I do want to kind of recognise and appreciate some really special people that have been involved in this. Firstly, the team at BMW Group Australia. I mean, getting these vehicles so far in advance and securing them for the Australian market is a real logistical nightmare, and I sincerely appreciate it, the team sincerely appreciate it. It's nice to be able to show these cars in person at the showroom. Secondly, the Melbourne BMW team, I really want a massive shout out to them. Putting this on is a huge team effort, in particular to the marketing and events colleagues with Danielle and Laura, but from concierge, reception, our BMW Genius team, the sales and after sales team members, it's really been, you know, a massive putting this all together, so it's certainly appreciated. Thirdly is the tech team that's evolved behind the scenes. We obviously wanted to put something on given how quickly all these restriction and regulations have changed in the last sort of week or two. We've been lucky enough to have some guests preview this in person, but we wanted to host something virtual so that you got a little bit of a snapshot of these cars, and we will post the link out through, and we certainly appreciate the cooperation that we get from the tech team. And lastly, and really most importantly, the Melbourne BMW customers, and as you have been involved with us now for many years, we look forward to showing you these cars in person when they do arrive. I'm really humbled by the opportunity to serve you, as is the broader team, and you know, we sincerely appreciate your continued interest in the brand and also the dealership operations. So I think with that, there's nothing else left to do other than to toast you for your time and attention for this, and more importantly, toast this trilogy of new models. So, Howie, thank you.
Thank you.
Enjoy, safe motoring and safe driving.